EA Sports and the Web.com Tour proudly present second round coverage of the Web.com Tour Championship. Just a good solid tee shot right there, about 280 yards. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
On the green, and a chance for birdie here on the first hole. Par yesterday, now for birdie. Did a nice job with that putt. Good read, good speed. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Those keep the round going, those par putts. Second hole, it's a par 5.
You'd think birdie or eagle off this team. We've seen a lot during the Players' Championship, but once again, you have to move that tee shot right to left. But be careful of those pines.
And that's going to stay on the fairway here at the second hole.
Second shot. There's a bunker over there.
I think he's headed for it. In the bunker, still with a chance for an up and down. All right, in the bunker now. On the green, and looking at a birdie opportunity.
Even par, currently.
That may have been a bit too much to ask for there, that distance putt, Frank.
Yeah, it's fine to be greedy before you hit the putt, but after you've hit it, 2 from that distance is fine.
Well, Frank, he'll drop at least one shot here. That was not his best effort.
No, poor is the easiest way to put that. He knows it.
And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Now the par 3 third.
Not overly long, but 2 is a rarity here. Difficult green, and you don't see a lot of tee shots actually finish close here for some unknown reason.
Outstanding strike right there, right off the center of the club face, and a good chance for birdie. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Well, maybe next time. Been a little too much of that, Frank, just sort of ho-hum pars. Back over now to the 4th. That is not the way he wanted to start out this second round. Frank, what does he need to do in order to put himself in better position for the weekend?
Have a convenient memory right now, and that's going to be tough too, because that one is up front and personal.
And that's where you want to be at the 4th, in the fairway. Frank, the second here at the 4th is a dangerous shot.
Once again, this is another example of where you have to look at the green. Where exactly is the flag? If it's on that high portion, you've got to fly it all the way back.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. No problems there. Really good approach shot. And now, good look at birdie.
It's no snack, though.
Well, you're not going to make that putt all the time, but you'd like to at least get it to the hole.
If he keeps putting like that, he's going to be an announcer in no time.
Oh, man.
Just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. So not his best work. He'll walk away with a bogey. 5th hole, good par 4, isn't it, Frank?
If ever a hole was built for Lee Trevino, who used to love to cut it, this would be the hole that just looks and screams for a shot that's hit left to right. And that's the only way really to avoid bunkers, left and long, and that one that's all the way down the right side.
Now from a good position in the fairway, his second shot. Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
On the green, and a chance for birdie. And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
This putt for par. Frank, that looked good to me.
Oh, that even caught me by surprise, Rich. I thought par was in the bag.
This now for bogey. So another bogey on the scorecard. And Frank, what happened this week?
I think it's a week to forget, Rich.
Frank, this isn't a hole that sort of jumps out at you the way, say, 17 does.
Yeah, a lot of times people will just sort of gloss over it, but anytime you get a par 4 into 400 yards, it's a great opportunity. But once again, a positional hole. Take advantage of it.
Frank, not overly long, but still a pretty good spot and in the fairway.
Yeah, that's in that 280 mark.
Frank, now the second shot here at hole number 6.
Yeah, not overly long, but be very aware of these palm trees that are short. Many a shots caught those trees coming into this green.
Frank, it hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
Yeah, you wonder what he...
Yeah, do that. The prodigy moves inside the cut line with that birdie. Frank, 7th hole here at TPC Sawgrass. How do you break this one down?
Not overly long, 440 yards, but once again, it's a tee shot. If you're driving the ball well, that's fine. You just sort of blister it down there, but you're starting to lose one a little bit to the right. There's 3 pot bunkers there, and of course, if you're fearful of it going left, there's the canal all the way down the left side that'll get your attention.
Chance to get it close here. Frank, what we've learned over the years is that the Web.com Tour is such a good place to hone your skills for the next step for the PGA Tour because it replicates the PGA Tour environment. 72 holes, a lot of pressure, you're playing for money, and you need to shoot 65s and 66s to win.
It's harder in golf to make that direct comparison. I think to add to your point, if you used other sports, for example, like baseball, AAA, as opposed to regular season baseball, the guy has a specialist position. He's a pitcher or catcher. You can directly correlate his ability with another one in the major leagues. The same with NFL, college, size, speed on the combine, as opposed to professional NFL at the highest level. In golf, it's so multifaceted. So therefore, if you have a good combination of game, it might not stand out initially, but it might be better in the long haul.
Here we are at the 8th at Pete Dye's famed stadium course at the TPC Sawgrass. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. Frank, this is a hole that I really like.
And players do too, Rich, especially off that back tee where it must be about 80 yards of shoot that you go through before the hole actually starts to open up. And this green, 11 bunkers in total around the whole putting surface.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. Speed wasn't bad on that long putt, but the read wasn't very good. Bogey here yesterday. Chance to better that today. Come on, you have to make that, don't you? Drop shot here at the 8th. This for bogey once again. Made bogey here yesterday.
It went from bad to worse, and right now, horrible.
What do they say, Frank? Golf spelled backwards is
Flog.
flog. Just a good solid tee shot right there, about 280 yards. And his second shot here at the par 5. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
That is a beauty, a real beauty. Birdie here yesterday, trying to do it again today.
How did that not go in?
Came to the putt, excited to make birdie. Now, settle for par.
Yeah, a little change in the attitude right now. You've let one go. You've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important this one goes in.
Let's get the back 9 started here at the stadium course at TPC Sawgrass and break down the 10th for us, Frank.
Well, it's similar to the opening hole. The first and 10th give you the same feeling where you feel awkward off the tee shot. Difference to the first hole, you've got to poke your tee shot towards the right side of the fairway here, turning it into a dog leg. And a similar thing now, you're going back across the fairway to the green.
Birdie try up next. Made par yesterday. This one for birdie. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. And getting ready for the putt. He'll take par and move on. Now to the 11th, par 5.
Good tee shot, and then you certainly think about hitting a hybrid or a lofted fairway wood into this green that's really narrow, one of the narrowest on the golf course. There's a little pot bunker left of this green when you go for 2 that often swallows up that second shot if it's a little bit too conservative. But there's a lake there. Seen more than one ball splash in the pond over the years.
Frank, as we watch the Web.com Tour Finals, anyone in particular you think could be a breakout star? Someone like a Keegan Bradley who jumped right out onto the PGA Tour and won the PGA Championship in his first ever start in a major.
Well, this player that I'm looking at right now, yes, and I mean you out there. Look at that. A prodigy since the age of 2. A lot of people in the golf world have just been waiting for you to finally get to this point. And, well, time for me to watch, time for you to play.
Great strike and a great result. Sitting up, good chance to attack the flag.
Second shot.
is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
Frank, the scoring club is in hand now. Chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, coming from that left side, you've got a full view of this green. And you can see the mounds, too. Use the mounds to your advantage.
You want to get to what they call the gauntlet, 16, 17, and 18 with a chance. 16 is the reachable par 5. You can make eagle there. And then the final 2 holes, you just want to steer clear of trouble. Though, with bold play, and you mentioned it with Craig Perks, you could make birdies.
It really is a case of mind over matter when you look at those holes. You're right. If you took away the water, you'd think they're 3 nice holes. But it wouldn't be the same. You intimidate the player as he plays 15. He's well aware of the finishing 3 holes.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. That is an excellent play right there. The approach, giving him another good look. Little redemption chance here. Had bogey yesterday. That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
Been pretty good all day from this distance. Just trying to take care of business. Been a little too much of that, Frank, just sort of ho-hum pars. Down to the par 4 12th, and it's a pretty short hole, Frank.
Yeah, Pete Dye often doesn't get enough credit for his short par 4s. This is a great example where one of the features of it is the blind second shot, just to give you a little bit of doubt on judging the distance.
Frank, not the longest hitter, but sometimes you win tournaments by putting it in a good spot, and that's where we are right here, 280 yards out.
Yeah, 280 down the middle of the fairway. That'll never get you in trouble.
Early part of this back 9 and a good approach shot. Now we'll have this for birdie. This hole's been good to him. Birdie yesterday, trying for another one today.
Well, we'll never know if that had gone in, because it never made it.
Good effort and good par putt. One of the great things about this golf course, Frank, a variety of par 3s, different yardages. Here at the 13th, 181-yard par 3.
Yeah, this is where you have to be careful on the tee there. Anything left's just going to be eaten up by that lake. Matter of fact, if you hit one with a little bit of a hook and it catches the mound, it can still kick into the lake. So this one here, just be a little cautious on the tee.
Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knock it in for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it is going to hurt the course.
Just a little tap in here. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Frank, historically in this great championship, 14 has proven to be a pivotal hole.
Everybody focuses on the finish here, but you're absolutely right, Rich. This can be an absolute scorecard record, because if you spin your drive left, the drop back, perhaps on the ladies' tees, you can make 6 in a heartbeat. You try and air to the right, you can make 6 from the mounds. So a good drive down 14 gives you a chance for that fast finish.
Headed for the bunker? Not missing by much today, but enough to again be in the bunker. All right, so greenside bunker. What's he looking to do with this shot, Frank?
Well, really, you have to look at the amount of green you've got to play with. You don't have to try and fly the ball right by the flag. Allow it to run. Plus, if you can get it to run like a putt, you never know. It might just go in. It's a big green. Just managed to get it smack bang in the middle of it.
Frank, nothing really went the player's way this week.
Yeah, if this was motor racing, you'd say it's a case of having 4 flat tires.
If you're just joining us, we're at the 15th hole here at TPC Sawgrass, 449-yard par 4. Frank, what's in store here?
One of the prettiest tee shots on the golf course, Rich. Once again, you're coming out of a chute of trees, big bunker down the right side. Really, you want to hug that right side, though. It gives you a better entry into this green.
Frank, once again, precision is so important as we look at the second shot to the 15th.
Yeah, you're looking at the flag here. You're looking at birdie. But if you miss, that big bunker on the left will swallow it up, and there's 2 little pop bunkers on the right. Tough to get it up and down.
You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable, that never deviated offline.
Frank, you hate to miss it from that distance.
More than a setback there.
Settles in over the putt. Seems to really have the touch today. And if you're a couple of shots behind on Sunday, that final round, you're thinking about 3, and that's possible, isn't it?
Well, history's shown it has, Rich.
Frank, safe to say he is not having his best day out here today. What kind of advice do you give a player who's struggling?
Well, you just almost got to forget what's happened. I know that's easier said than done. Just start a clean slate. Just hit a good shot. Just find a fairway. Don't try and get too specific. There's enough out there. The greens are big enough. Just find a piece of green. Find a piece of fairway. Maybe knock a couple of putts in. And then let it add up in your direction.
Excellent drive, Frank, right where you want to be. Now the second shot to the par 5. Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
Well, that's how you play the game, right there. Different day, different hole. Made bogey yesterday, and he'll do better this time, it looks like. Frank well off the pace, but the true professionals, they keep digging, trying to get better. Frank, it's the moment that makes it tough, isn't that right?
Yeah, you've made that walk from 16 green. It's 80 yards to the tee here. So as you walk along, and if your eyes venture to the right, you see it all in front of you. You see the crowd behind, and you realize this is the shortest par 3 on the golf course. But you also, if you think a little too hard, everything that you've seen over the years flashes through your mind. If you hit enough shots, every now and again, one's going to go in.
Crazy, crazy game. People always talk about 17 being visually intimidating. Frank, what about 18?
If there's a little bit of wind off the right, the tee shot is so much easier. But if that wind is coming off the water, not only do you see the water and the wooden bulkheads, you see all the rough and the trees on the right. And of course, then you start bringing 5, 6, 7, even 8 into play. That's what makes this tee shot so hard.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
All right, Frank, now a chance to begin to turn it around.
It's got to start somewhere. Really, the first display of golf we saw was poor, but now this is what people expect.
Frank, disappointing couple of rounds there.
And consequently a miscut. No chance playing in the weekend, but there's more than one tournament ahead.